Star Wars Episode 2, The Clone Wars, Act 1. Pan down to a jungle planet, fade into a military base on that jungle planet. It's under attack, it's an awesome battle, and we're thrown into the thick of it. Lasers flying to and fro, explosions everywhere, Wilhelm screams aplenty. The blast doors of Command Central are forced and everybody inside is shot except the commander. He stands gravely at the control panel, fingers poised over a red button. When he's told by an enemy soldier, who's wearing familiar white plastic armor, to surrender the base, he says, "Never!" and shouts something like, "Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker!" and slams his finger down onto the red button. Kaboom! Up goes the military base. Everything is silent. Signature wipe transition to a bar in Coruscant. Anakin sits at a table impressing an interspecies group of sexy space women with the Force. Then Obi-Wan shows up and shoos them all away and says something like, "The Force is a tool, my young apprentice, not a parlor trick. It should not be used lightly." And you see that Anakin has started heading down a somewhat dangerous path because he's using the Force for personal gain. Anyway, Anakin makes a wisecrack and there's some fun banter and you can see that the two really do like each other. Obi-Wan is definitely the mature one. Obi-Wan says that they're needed back at the Jedi Temple. Signature wipe transition to the Jedi Temple. Master Obi-Wan Kenobi has a seat on the council, and behind him stands Anakin, who's staring open-mouthed at a total hottie who stands in the middle of the room, begging for Jedi help in investigating the attack that opened the film. Mace Windu is all for it. He says something like, "The motherfucking Sith are most definitely involved in the motherfucking attack." But Kai Adimundi says something like, "Even if the Sith were involved, investigating such matters lies in the hands of the government. It is paramount that we adhere to the separation of Jedi and state." And Yoda says, "An army of this magnitude in many years has not been gathered. A hand of the dark side in this, I feel. The services of Obi-Wan Kenobi and his young apprentice I would offer to the government." So the council agrees and Obi-Wan and Anakin are charged to help in any way they can. Act 2. In Act 2, 3 plot lines shall be woven together as were the 3 plot lines in Episode 5. These 3 plot lines come to a head in the final act. They are as follows. 1. Darth Sidious and Darth Maul talk about how their clone army is going to enable them to conquer the galaxy. They're like the conversations between Darth Vader and the Emperor in Episode 5. 2. Padme and Anakin see a lot of one another and they're really into each other. 3. The Clone Wars, as spoken about by Obi-Wan in Episode 4. Armies of clones are sent to destroy military strongholds of the Republic. Obi-Wan and Anakin fight with the Republic against the clones, and Obi-Wan is made a general, and Anakin's amazing piloting skills, as spoken about by Obi-Wan in Episode 4, are displayed in glorious space battles. There's plenty of fun Star Wars action, witty banter, and practical effects. Act 3. Sidious is frustrated because Obi-Wan continues to gloriously foil his plans. One day Sidious receives intelligence that Anakin is like a son to Obi-Wan, and he also learns that Anakin is super in love with Padme, so he tells Darth Maul to capture Padme so that they can make a ransom tape to send to Anakin, which they will use to lure him to a desolate planet, whereupon after capturing him, they will use Anakin to lure Obi-Wan to the desolate planet and destroy him. Well, that's not complicated or anything. Capturing Padme is as easy as shitting for Darth Maul, and as soon as Anakin sees the ransom tape, he leaves Coruscant to save her life. He's especially angry because Darth Maul captured her, a man for whom he already harbors a desire for revenge. In our version of Episode 1, Anakin's super upset when Darth Maul kills Qui-Gon Jinn. If you haven't, click here to see our version of Episode 1. Meanwhile, Obi-Wan senses that Anakin's distressed, and upon checking the hangar for Anakin's ship, he finds that it's missing. Panicked, Obi-Wan jumps into his ship and flies off, using the Force to pursue his apprentice. Anakin arrives on the desolate planet and finds Padme tied up. He unties her and she says, "You came for me?" And he says, "Of course!" They're about to have a romantic moment when Darth Maul leaps out of the shadows. Anakin dodges aside and tells Padme to run, and so begins a lightsaber duel between Darth Maul and Anakin Skywalker. The Maul vs Anakin duel is similar to the Vader vs Luke duel in Episode 5. It's obvious that Anakin's outmatched. As Padme flees the battle, she runs into Obi-Wan and tells him that Anakin's fighting Darth Maul. Obi-Wan takes out his lightsaber and races to his apprentice's aid. We cut back to some fighting. Darth Maul slices off Anakin's arm. You can tell Darth Maul's pissed, and he raises his lightsaber to kill Anakin when in jumps Obi-Wan.
Hello there.
Who parries the blow that would have killed his apprentice. Anakin watches as his friend fights with incredible skill and sets Darth Maul to flight. Obi-Wan then bears Anakin back to his ship where Padme waits outside. She tends to Anakin whilst Obi-Wan flies away. Darth Maul then phones home and informs Darth Sidious of his failure. Darth Sidious is not happy at all, and he says, "You have failed twice. Fail again, and you shall regret it." Signature wipe transition to a hospital room. Anakin has a fake hand. Obi-Wan lectures him for not calling proper help. When he leaves, Anakin takes Padme's hand and says that he would do it all over again if he had to. Padme looks at him in a way that only too plainly says, "I love the f***ing shit out of you." Then the two lovers kiss, and boom! Roll end credits. Take that, George Lucas. Production notes. R2-D2 will be Obi-Wan's droid. He will not be explicitly referred to as R2-D2 except for a few times, and he doesn't have much screen time. Still, he's there, and it will make all the Star Wars fans orgasm. C-3PO will be Anakin's pet project. We'll see C-3PO's golden body in the background of Anakin's room, surrounded by tools and wires.